What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking to you about an issue that I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with, which is drug abuse. Now, before I begin, let me introduce myself and tell you why you should listen to me, or why do I know all of this? Well, I've been through school, high school, college, and various workplaces in my life, and I've seen it firsthand. A lot of some of my coworkers or some of my classmates. I've seen also a couple of my family members fall into drug abuse. So it's really something that we really need to be aware of, and the purpose of this is just to raise some awareness about drug abuse. So today I'm going to be talking to you about what exactly is drug abuse, what is the definition, what types of drugs are out there, and what are the consequences associated with the drug abuse. Now, what exactly is drug abuse? Well, according to the website, the University of Maryland Medical Center, drug abuse is defined as the recurrent use of illegal drugs or the misuse of over-the-counter medications, which can cause long-term problems, health problems, and many other issues with the misuse of these drugs. Now, what exactly are drugs? Well, there are many types of drugs out there. There is the most common one, and I'm pretty sure most of you have heard of it, and at least I'm pretty sure that most of you know what it looks like. The main one is marijuana, but there's also cocaine, ecstasy, morphine, crystal meth, and even prescription medications can be considered addictive if somebody uses them or misuse them for a long time. Now, these types of drugs are there are many other types of drugs that you can actually go and do some research so you can at least be familiar with these types of drugs in order for you to just kind of be aware of what they look like. Now, what do drugs do to you? Well, their drugs become addictive at a young age. Most of these people that become addicted to drugs is either in their teenage years, and it can also or somebody can become addictive when they're adults. But the most common is the when somebody is a teenager. Now, there's two ways in which somebody can become addictive to drugs. Now, the first one is peer pressure. The second one is personal problems. Now, I'm here to tell you, the audience, that drugs are not going to help you to solve your problems. They never have and they never will. Now, the second of all is that drugs, peer pressure. Now, there's some people that can't tell you, well, if you do this, I mean, just to try it. But peer pressure is another cause of many teenagers, especially students, to actually become hooked with drugs. So that's why if somebody offers you drugs, just say no. That's the best. That's the best way to just kind of avoid that situation. I know it can be hard sometimes, but the best thing to do is just to say no. Now, many teenagers believe that drugs is something cool, but in reality, it's not. And according to the website drugabuse.gov, now drug abuse is considered to be a complex disease in which quitting takes more than good intentions or a strong will. In fact, because drugs affect the brain cells in many ways, drug abuse becomes harder for those who are ready to do so, so who are ready to quit. So in order for you guys to just stay away from become addicted to drugs, the best thing to do is just to stay away from them. Now, there are some other facts about drugs which I'm going to tell you. According to the website drugfree.org, there's nearly 200,000 deaths every year uh, because of drug abuse. Now, drug abuse can be either from overdose or accidents or even suicide. Worldwide, there's 200,000 deaths every year. And according to the website, the WashingtonPost.com, there's nearly 100 people dying each day in the U.S. alone because of drugs. Now, these numbers are really something to think about. Now, another problem that comes associated with drugs is the if you want to get a job out here or anywhere, most of these companies require you to pass a drug test. Now, it is true that there are some states out here where drugs become legal, and such as Washington or Colorado or even California, there's some states where you can actually buy marijuana, and this is true. I mean, it became legal in some states, but this doesn't necessarily mean that companies are gonna just get rid of the drug test. Now, most of these companies, even in California, you can still do drugs and buy marijuana, but you can still have to pass the drug test in order to get into some jobs. So I'm not saying necessarily that every company does the same. Each company has their own different policies, but I'm telling you right now that most of this, especially the companies that pay more, they require you to pass the drug test. So if you can't pass this drug test, you're just gonna miss a lot of opportunities. Now, one final thing to tell you is just to kind of just summarize everything. Like I said, there's many different types of drugs out there. It's better for you to become familiar with them so you can know exactly what they look like. Now, another thing is just to not to fall in peer pressure. And if you're having some personal problems, it's better to just to talk to a counselor, to talk to a friend or anybody. But drugs are definitely not going to help you. Now, one last quotation from a former meth user. He said, "Here's a solution to the American problem, suggested a couple of years back by the wife of our president. Just say no." Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.